Vish.
Yeah, boy.
What a brilliant way to start. Well, welcome. Oh, now I've got that as well. Okay, we're nothing if not real.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Tasty Humours for the sake of the three people that are going to watch this. Who are
Thank you for
What do you
having
do?
me. So my name is Vish, short for Vishesh Oberoi. I'm been born and raised in the UAE. A big part of the car community here for a very good amount of time.
How much time?
Since I got my driving license, or since I was 18. But back then I had a very chunky Nissan Maxima because you can't make a car go fast, at least make it look fast and furious.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm not proud of that. I regret a little bit, but then that car actually got me into where I am in the community now.
And how did that car get you in then?
Oh yeah, so the funny story with that is, so with the Maxima, I had, so my biggest inspiration was Paul Walker, Too Fast to Furious and The Fast to Furious. And he had this Nissan Skyline, silver with blue neons.
Yeah.
So I had a Nissan, even though it was not silver, it was white. So you can't put a GTR engine in a Maxima, but you can put the neons on a Maxima. So I put blue neons on it. I'm like, yeah, yo, check me out, Fast and Furious. And I ran into a real Skyline, and my neons were better than his. So pulled up.
You were just going much slower.
Yeah, way slow. No, he was in a gas station, so I could catch him. So I pulled up next to him. I was like, hey, bro, nice Skyline, whatever. And then we started talking. And then I told him, like, yo, you should get proper, it's a Skyline, you should put proper LEDs. Check out my LEDs, bro. And that conversation ended up into becoming a really good friendship. He's a good friend of mine now, Mohammed. And he got me, actually I thank him because he got me into my first car meet situation, because otherwise I used to be a bystander at all these events in Sharjah and Dubai. So I used to just be watching it from far away. But he helped me be in one of them. Even though it was with a Maxima, and I got a lot of shit for it. Because people would be like, what's that? Because every picture he would post, be like, why is that Maxima next to you? I was like, he's a good driver. He's like, yeah, but it's a Maxima. I'm like, yeah, I'll deal with it one day. And
How did you deal with it?
Being silent, trying to be fast and overcompensating on the road, which I'm not too proud of either. And a lot of traffic fines. Because I was like, I will maintain momentum and carry on. Because
Once you get to top speed, you got to stay there. But getting there was the problem.
I stop, I'm not catching up with them anytime. So just foot down, stay behind.
So is this friend, Mohammed, is he somebody that formed NightRoad? Or how did NightRoad come about? And what is NightRoad,
So
to be honest
funnily,
with you?
the guy who founded NightRoad is also a Mohammed, but a different Mohammed. No, he and me ran a car group called SSR back in the day. So that was 2013, 14 onwards. And then, of course, we started getting busy and everything else, and we didn't get a chance to. NightRoad was found by another guy named Mohammed. The name was also his idea. And he's in the group itself, but I took care of all the drives and everything for it. It was a very simple concept. The whole point of it was every car group in the UAE was either horsepower-based, car-based, brand-based, model-based. He just wanted a group of like-minded people. It didn't matter if your car had a lot of power or not, but people who could converse together, have a good time together, go to the desert for a barbecue, everything, and just have a good time. It's not like oh yeah, I've got a bigger turbo, my car's faster than yours. It wasn't a measuring competition at that point in time. So we just wanted to have a very, very fun time. And it started with 6 of us, then 12, and now the core members are about 24, 25 people. And then we have more that join the drives and everything. So he just wanted a simple name. So like, when do we drive? In the night. Where do we drive? On the road. NightRoad.
Very simple.
That's it. And the whole point of the simplicity was, the whole group was like that. People who like each other, people who like cars, no hate for anything except electric cars.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Right. I'm looking forward to that bit. With all the car groups that were around at the moment, are there a lot of them that do have, let's say, a lot of ego in them, where the groups themselves, it is just basically a swinging festival of who's got the more horsepower, who's got the bigger car, or are they all quite a placid bunch?
No, the thing is, there are some groups that are very chilled out, that have mutual respect for every other group, but a lot of them are actually very, I don't know, like cringy is a word that I would use, but a lot of them are just full of that. So you turn up there, they'll just be like, yeah, is your car making that much power? Or this body kit's not that great, this is not that great. So it just immediately turns into, yeah, you could have done better with that. I'm like, man, it's my money, man. I'm like, okay, if I want to make it look like a rice rocket, that's on me. I'll deal with the insults on social media and stuff. But if you're joining, at least feel a little bit more welcome, which I feel majority of the groups don't do. NightRoad tries to be more welcome. Yeah, we don't allow everybody to just turn up at the drives purely because we want to take care of the safety of all the other drivers. That's it. But
how do you do it? What is the, let's say, the criteria to join NightRoad then?
So joining, there's no application process. You cannot join NR. You can join the drives and everything else, but you have to be recommended by one of the 25 who are there.
And how do you get recommended? Like, what type? How do you get recommended?
Yeah, for example, if you're gonna come by and you and me know each other, you and me know each other personally. I know how you drive. I can vouch for you. So that keeps that circle really small. Because everyone has a responsibility at that point in time. Because if I post up on social media, be like, hey, everyone open, you and me both know what kind of retards are going to turn up and they're going to start crashing cars left and right. Okay. Not that I haven't seen that. We have seen that.
No, I was going to ask. So is that this is what I'm sort of getting at, which is people turn up and they act irresponsibly. Is that sort of what you're saying?
Yeah. So that's the reason why in NR we try to keep it very close. So so I have a responsibility towards everyone I call, and so does Mohammed, so does everyone else in the group, so that they push that pressure on you to make sure you don't do anything stupid. So the negative point of that is, okay, you can't do something crazy like 300-400 cars, a big meet, whatever. But the plus point is, it's not like a Jumeirah Beach Road traffic going towards Jess. We have a good fun time, mess around with each other, and then we reach the end point, have a good conversation, go home.
And where do you normally drive to from?
Mostly all the meetup points are based in Dubai. But then if it's a small convoy, we try to do it within Dubai. Whether it be Last Exit or any remote location within Dubai, or else if it's a slightly bigger convoy, we try to do Jabal Jais, Jabal Hafid, the mountain drives.
Yeah, that's an awesome drive.
But those are always selected drivers. We never like to keep that open because those roads are a bit tricky. So we don't want to get some... Yeah, you and me both know.
Yeah. No, say it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the morons who think that they have a really fast car and they turn basically what I was back in 2012, 2013. But I had my limits set, but some people clearly don't have limits. And we've seen how bad that turns out. So I just don't want it happening with us.
So what car do you have now then?
I have a Subaru, a Scooby, a WRX STI. And yeah, she's been with me since 2015. So it's going to be... She, yeah.
Does she have a name?
Yeah.
What is the name?
It's Mystique. Because I was a big X-Men fan.
Okay, yeah.
So, and the reason for Mystique is going to be cliche as hell, but I was like, Mystique shape shifts. And that's what the car is like when it goes through a corner.
Okay.
I'm calling Mystique. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, no matter how old I get, I'm still 12, right? So
And you know what? But there is that element in the car culture where it is what we would refer to, or we used to refer to in the UK as big boys' toys.
Yeah.
It's a toy. Do you know what I mean? I have a 2023 Dodge Charger. It's a toy. Like, it's me doing this on a dining room table with a tiny toy car going and doing these skits. Yeah. I make those noises when I drive. No one just sees me do it. You know what I mean? But your car, I was at Autodrome on the 15th of February, and you were, now, is it drag racing or roll racing?
So the one that you had come for was roll racing.
Okay, what's the difference?
So drag racing, you start from a dig, so from zero, when the lights go out, you go. For roll race, you have a small pre-preparing area. So you don't need to launch the car.
I wondered what that was, because where I was sat in the stands, I couldn't see the start line.
Yeah.
And you guys were coming forward and going onto the track kind of slowly.
And then gunning it, yeah. Okay. It's easier for cars like, of course, GTRs and cars like that, they can launch really quickly. So can the Subi, but it puts a lot of pressure on the axles itself if they're stock, and the car's making a good amount of power. So rolling allows you to come up to a certain momentum and then gun it after that.
And what's the distance of the track?
It's about, so from the starting line to that, it's about 400 meters.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what speeds were you getting up to?
About 212, 215.
Kilometers?
Yeah. But our entry speed's usually between 60 to 80. So in that distance, it's mainly about, the biggest fight is 100 to 200 at that point in time. We have Lamborghinis hitting 300 in that stretch. But for us, the battle is 80 to 200. So whoever
Why is it a battle?
Because at the end of the day, no matter how much, we have friendly races that happen, but majority of them, the way that lineup works is you'll have someone walk up to you, be like, what's the horsepower on that? And I'll be like, it's around 700. It's like, yeah, mine's 900. You want to try? And then if it's a fair race, if it's a really friendly race, he'll actually be even. He'll play it fairly. He'll start at the right time. But if he has his friend sitting in the audience and he wants a really good video of him whooping ass, he'll jump and pull away. And then all the video shows, it doesn't show how the race started. It'll show how the race finished. Yes. And then you have a social media thing of a Subi getting bashed by a Nissan Patrol or a Land Cruiser, whatever. But so they're looking for material. I understand that. But at the end of the day, it's supposed to be a fair, fun thing, friendly. You're not getting a trophy. No one is. We're just going to, like, I went personally because I got my car back that day. I wanted to test out on the track, see what she did. And I was pretty happy with it. And my friends were with me. We raced together, that's it. But some people take it a bit too seriously.
How seriously are they taking it?
Oh yeah, a bit more than required. The emotions are elevated. Everyone's all over the place, and if you say something against their car or their group, they kind of lose their mind. But they need to kind of learn how to keep that, because at the end of the day, there's always going to be someone. This is for the entire car community. There's always someone faster than you. You'll never be the fastest. Like even in my group, I would be like, it's my group, but I'm not the fastest. There are faster cars than me. But some people are like, no, I got to be the fastest. I got to be the best, the most flashy. And that's what screws you up, to be honest.
So who are some of the people that you come across? Because it's very much, I always look at these sort of things, in the daytime, I do this, but in the nighttime, I'm this, And so what are the other drivers like? Like sort of vocations, what jobs do they do?
That's the thing, their personalities are very different.
Yeah.
And I actually love that. If I met them in the morning at work, I would never expect this to be the guy I'm racing in the night at Autodrome or at Yas. But a lot mixed. We have a lot of Emiratis, we have a lot of Indians, Pakistanis, British. But majority, we have some lawyers, some are police officers, some are based in events, some work in banks. And the thing is, in the morning, you see them all prim, proper. And at night, they're rowdy as hell. And I love that. I love that switch. They're like, okay, switch off, mind off, let's go. But yeah, that's the best thing about, I think the car community actually unleashes that part of you. It allows you to be you, express yourself through your car.
Well, that's the best thing about cars, I've always thought, is that it is seen as an expression of yourself. It is seen, when I switched from my previous car to my current car, people that I work with, and they went, yeah, this is a lot more you, and you kind of go, oh, cool. And I think I was saying to somebody about how, as much as I think this is just so ridiculously stupid, I'm about to offend many people, but how people can buy eyelashes for their, where on oh, this has offended so many people. Listen, whoever buys those, I mean, come on. But the thing is that on the one hand, it's really customizing your car, even if it is or looks a bit silly.
Yeah.
I just find it fantastic that you can sort of do that. Do you know what I mean? And your car does become an extension of your personality.
It's like adding a human element to a car.
Mystique.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Pretty much, yeah.
So is Mystique street legal, or can you drive it on the roads?
She is now. She wasn't before. It was a bit obnoxious back then. But now it's a bit more tame. It's not too loud. It's just the right amount. So I never wanted to bother people. But then back when I got it, I was more like, yeah, let's straight pipe it, be super loud and stuff. But then as you grow and be mature, not that I am, but the thing is, as you grow and become a little bit more mature than you are, you learn that waking up people in the middle of the night is not a good thing.
No.
No. So we realized it late. Yeah, I have my moments where I wish that I was like, yeah, you know what, screw this guy. Park in front of his house, backfired. But then I'm like, no, let's not do that.
So what have you done to your car? What's it? How have you
pretty much everything. The thing is, I think the only thing remaining on that is, the only thing that's talk about it is the chassis and the body itself, and the gearbox, because it's a manual. But I just went mad with that car, because the thing is, I had what's it called? I think it was back till 2021, 2022. I was at a certain phase in my life where everything was going. It was in autopilot. Everything was going well, and then I had this dip, a really bad dip, family, personal issues, and everything else. In that time, I just decided to be like, you know what? Let's fuck everything else around you. Let's just go for what I want. And I just decided to just drop whatever I had in my account into the car. Come on, let me just chase this now and finish this once and for all. And that's when she went from being just a 350 actually 350 brake horsepower car to a 1,000 horsepower car. And I was just like, everything. Even things I didn't need to change, I changed it. The suspension was fine, I changed it. So I just went mad at that point. Regret a little bit because I could have been a much wealthier man. Now I'm broke, but I'm broke with a fast car. So it's better. It's better than being rich with a slow car.
But you even smile when you say that.
Yeah.
I might be broke, but look at my car.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah, it's like the thing is that you can. What's it called? I used to say that to a few friends of mine when we used to talk about this. I was like, you can live in a car, but you can't race your house. Sell the house, buy your car.
I quite like that.
Yeah, that's what's got me where I am.
So do you have a nitrous system?
No.
Okay.
It's not street legal to have it here. But the Subis can't. There are people running it in the US and stuff, but it's actually not. The engine can't handle that. You'll end up blowing something. Not that I don't without it, but with it, you'll definitely blow it much sooner.
I've always wanted to know, how does a nitrous system work?
So
because I will qualify that for my naivety, is that all I've ever been experienced to it is through Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Where they suddenly just sort of sit there going like this, and then they're driving down the highway.
Yeah. And then
like,
NFS Underground, right? Even Need for Speed and all the video games, you had that, push the button for boost. Yeah. It's just,
Actually, you know what? My favorite thing in the Fast and Furious, I think it's the second one, where he flips the car into reverse, and he's reversing down the highway at very high speed and changes gear whilst reversing. And I actually thought, double reverse.
Yeah.
It just highlights the ludicrousy of some of the things that happen in those movies.
And it kept up with the other car that was going...
Double reverse.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, it's just gone down such a... Because I was a hardcore... I still, to an extent, am just for the legacy. But it could have been so much better where they started and where they are now. Because in the beginning, it was still like street racing cars. The
first one was really cool.
Yeah.
They were underground street.
Yeah,
there's underground street racers. They were thieves. They were, stuff like that. You had it's very reminiscent to a early '90s film called Point Break.
Yes.
It's kind of Point Break with cars.
Yep.
You know, both fantastic films, by the way.
Yeah.
But then, of course, it suddenly morphed into they're a crack team of
action.
of like
planes going to the moon.
Yeah, going to the moon.
Yeah,
but so how does a nitrous system work then?
So just like in the most simplest way possible. So you have fuel injectors which inject the fuel into each cylinder head, and that combusts and allows you to make power. And fuel has a certain octane to it. Nitrous just gets sprayed with the fuel into the cylinder head itself and allows you a much colder temperature at a higher octane. So it's like, think of it like fuel on steroids being pushed into your cylinder head at the same time. So it gives you a much higher combustion at a lower temperature, and that allows you to push beyond your usual boundaries of horsepower. But it's just for a split second. It doesn't work like how NFS shows it. It's not like you have a button and you're like push it and go. Usually it's just triggered automatically by the car. So that part is true.
You turn it on.
Yeah. So once you open that, it'll inject it on a certain RPM or a certain gear or a certain speed.
Okay.
Yeah. But of course, I'm not no tuning expert. I don't want anyone to bash me, be like, there's a lot more other ways to do it. But there are, I know. But this is as far as I am.
Let's say, leave him alone.
Yeah. The disclaimer.
He's only said to me, and I don't know what I'm talking about. So that's what I'm asking. Okay. So don't bash Fish, bash me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that, although I've always had the dream of having that, and then when I grew up and I got into the car community, I'm like, it's not a button. Like you push and go.
I want the button.
Yeah. In my head, I was like, it's like Star Wars, right? Like hyperspace.
Yeah.
Boom. I was like, no, it doesn't work like that. I was like, my life has been a lie. NFS, you cheated me.
Do you know what I would do? Yeah. I would put a button on my steering wheel, knowing that the nitrous kicks in at a certain RPM. Looking and just press it anyway. Just go check this out.
Yeah. And then everyone just start calling it NOS at that point in time, even though that's the brand that they use.
Yeah.
The nitrous oxide is actually the real name for that. Also laughing gas, by the way, what dentists use.
Yeah. No, it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'm now having a vision of two people in a car driving extremely fast, pissing themselves laughing. Have you driven a car with nitrous?
With nitrous, no, I've not had a chance to. I've raced a car that was running nitrous, which I did not know was running nitrous.
Well, you were racing as he just drove away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I asked him, because I asked him very honestly, right? We met at the dragster. I was like, how much is that making? He's like, 500. I was like, okay, I'm making 400. Let's go. We pulled up to the starting line. He's like, he just looked at me. He's like, bro, by the way, 1,500. And he closed the window. And the guy's holding the flag up, like, ready? I'm like, no, go. I'm like, this is just gonna be. And I just saw him leave. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Just let's not try.
So what's the fastest car you've ever driven?
At the moment, it's actually mine.
Okay.
It is mine. I wanted to drive a friend's a GTR, an R35, but he sold it because he got a really good price. So he sold it before I had the chance to drive it. But I would love to. I would love to actually get a chance to drive that as a monster of a car. That's actually the dream at some point of time, to get a GTR. Because again stems from the same place. All starts from Fast and Furious. I think all of us at some point of time became motorheads either because of Need for Speed or Fast and Furious.
Well, there was no doubt that film was at the same time. So Need for Speed, I think, Need for Speed came out. So the one that I lost a lot of hours to was Need for Speed Underground 2.
Beautiful.
And I think, I'm not joking, when was I addicted to that? 2004?
That's when it came out.
Yeah, 2004. And the first Fast and Furious film was 2001. And it was when you could fully customize the car and everything like that. And it didn't matter that... God, I was late 20s. So instead of being a teenage boy getting into this, I'm in my late 20s and wanting to customize cars on the PS2. And it did. It had a profound effect on car culture. Because before that, I think that, I used to go to drag racing festivals in the mid-90s, but it was all to do with Volkswagens. We used to go to Bug Jam and Beetle Bash at Santa Pod Raceway in Wolverhampton, I think it is, in the UK.
Okay,
And we would have a weekend of partying, and then there'd be drag racing and proper, half-mile strip. So you would have proper drag cars, you'd have funny cars, you'd have a rocket car, you'd have a hydroperoxide car.
Wow, okay.
Which sat on the start-finish line ticking. You could hear it just ticking. And then it's like, so the rocket car would take 10 minutes to get to the point where it's going to go.
Okay.
And then the hydro just sat there, and it's like he flicked a switch and it just spat out and...
Wow, I've never had a chance to see
It was some hectic stuff. But I think, like I said, I think Fast and Furious turned it from something that was only on track into something that's now...
On the streets.
On the streets. So look, speaking of strange cars to see at motor racing events.
Yes.
There was a Tesla.
At the roll race.
So I think my first question is...
Why?
What the hell is a Tesla doing there? And my second question is... What the hell is a Tesla doing there?
Trust me, I think all of us had the same, but I guess we've just become accustomed to it. The first time I saw it, the same reaction. I was like, this is not I'm like, your job's that way, bro. That's the commuter. I'm like, you commute to work in that, you bring your real car here. I'm like, no.
He's taking a detour from work.
Yeah, I swear. He's like, let me just stop by the drag strip on my way to the office. It's like, no doubt it's a fast car. It can probably whoop mine and a lot of others. But at the end of the day, it's not... It's a food blender on wheels. That's the best way to say it. It's a torch. It's an electrical appliance. Yes, it gets the job done. Yes, it's economical and whatever. You can use...
I know. Somebody in the room is laughing.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So the thing is, the best comparison I saw was a friend of mine in the States posted this, and he's just like, yes, a Tesla gets you from 0 to 100 faster. Yes, a Tesla can get you to work. Not a Tesla, an electric car in general. But you can even microwave a burger. But would you rather grill it or microwave it? So he's like, think of it that way. Like grilling, combustion. That's how it is. That's the way to make a burger. You can microwave it, but would you? That's the best way to explain it to someone. I wouldn't. It's not its place. But the reason it comes there is because it's the easiest car to drag. You can just do 4 runs and then go home. No issue, no nothing. The only thing you'll wear out is tires, and it's the easiest car to drag race.
But it's because, and school me if I'm wrong, it's because of... I looked at it and think of it because of the gear changing. So the thing about, because they did this, they did it to F1. When did they do it? Mid-90s, and they made a fully automatic.
Sequential.
And I can't remember, if my memory serves. It was a very long time ago, and a lot's happened in the last 30 years to my memory. But the thing is that I can't remember if it actually, there was a season where they raced with it or whether it was created and suggested. And where everybody kicked off was that the gear changing from the human being in the car is a big part of the actual race. So if you get it wrong, do you know what I mean?
You can lose a lot. You can lose the entire race.
So therefore, as with the drag racing, if there's no gear changing, then you're just...
Yeah. It's actually one of the biggest things. Like even now, I think about 10 years back when we used to be racing Subis, GTRs, Supras, all of them, everyone was mostly a manual and you had 1 or 2 automatics. But now with the new BMWs, with the new GTR, everything else, it's either a dual clutch or it's a really robust dual clutch, or the Porsche has this thing called the PDK, which is a very, very quick, like you cannot shift as fast as that.
Yeah.
And Audi and Volkswagen have something called a DSG, gearbox. It kind of kills it for, like, I know I can shift at a certain efficiency. Like, I can't be better than that, but you can't beat that. And at the end of the day, drag race is about hitting a quarter mile in a certain number of seconds. And this has gone from it. So you've kind of taken that human element out. And the next step in that is the petrol engine itself being out. So we're kind of going that way. It went
The
from
petrol engine being out?
So it'd be manual to automatic to electric. It's literally going that way.
Yeah, but no. No, because I learned to drive manual.
As did the real men.
And well, I'll tell you what. Yes. My dad said to me, because my dad was manual, my mother was automatic. Okay. And my dad said to me when I was very, very young, he said, learn to drive manual, because if you do, you could drive anything. And that never left me. And I learned to drive manual because in the UK, everyone drives manual. Okay. And then I moved to Dubai, everyone drives automatic. And when I came here, I was like, no, I'm going to drive manual because I can drive manual like this. And a friend of mine said, if you do that, if you buy a car that's manual here, the cost involved for parts and fixing, because everything's automatic. So I was like, okay. I drove around Dubai, I think, for about 3 or 4 months. Yeah. Went back to the UK and I rented a manual to drive around the UK. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, what a ball ache to drive around cities and everything. There's changing gear. Like, if people that don't drive manual around a city, here's a go-kart. You're driving a go-kart, right? There, that's it. Like, it's like, mate, I don't understand why in cities people want a manual car.
Yeah, like you'll just be walking around and be like, yeah, your one calf muscle is a lot bigger than your other. Like, manual, bro. That's how you know.
Yeah. Let me kick you. Let me kick you with my manual leg.
You don't want to mess with this.
That's it. You're walking lopsided like the penguin.
Exactly.
It drives manual.
Because I used to daily a manual from Sharjah to Dubai every day until April this year, like last year. So 4 years I was dailying that. I was dailying an Evo. And the only reason like I sold it and I got an automatic instead was because one, of course, I was getting a good price for it. And I was not doing justice to the car. I was keeping it completely stock. I wasn't modifying it, nothing. Because I was living in the heart of Sharjah. And Sharjah has a rule that you do not want any modified cars. And I've had a bad experience with that when I tried to be above the law. So, yeah. So I'm like, I'm not going to make that mistake again. They know me by face.
Proper street racer. And then you got caught. I'm sorry.
No, that's the thing. When I got caught, I wasn't doing anything.
What? How did you get caught then?
I was at a traffic light. And the cop came up behind me. He's like, that's not stock. I was like, yeah, it is. He's like, no, it's not.
Did you look at the police officer and go, cool, man, you noticed?
I wish he was chill. I was like, hey, man, thank you. Like, no. Like, follow me to the police station. It was not modified that much. It was just loud.
Okay.
But, and then at that point, I was like, bro, I'm not doing anything. I'm literally in a traffic jam. I was like, yep, doesn't matter. Modified rules. So after that, I was like, when I get it daily and I drive it, no matter what car it is, I'll keep it completely silent. Mm-hmm. So that Evo was actually quieter than a Tesla at that point in time. People used to call it a Tesla. Like, we can't even hear you come by or go by. But
so where do you stand on electric cars then?
So I was at a point where I was like, I would never own one. To the point that conversations with my family and everything, I was like, okay, I would get one so I can save petrol money to spend on my car. Mm-hmm. So I could probably, because when it comes to commuting, and if you live in Sharjah, work in Dubai, and you're commuting with it, it makes sense to have it because you'll save a good amount of money per month. And that money can go into modifying your actual car. So,
Your real car.
yeah, real car.
Your real
exactly.
car.
So probably that's where it maximum. I think that's where I stand. I would not race it. I wouldn't be. And if I bought one, I wouldn't show off with it. I'd be really quiet about it.
Well, good, because it's a very quiet car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't do. I was like, hey, bro, I bought a Tesla. Why? Because I know the day, God forbid, I never want that time to come when I have to pick one up. I'll try to pick up a hybrid even, but not an electric car, because it still has some soul in it.
So do you think that we're heading to this no matter what?
Sadly, yeah, I feel that. I'm hoping that my kids deal with that shit. I'm hoping I'm gone by
How
the time
old are
electric
you?
cars are mandatory.
You're 31.
I'm 31, yeah.
Because I think one of the stats surrounding this is that it's all about the shelf life. It's the turnover of the entire petrol combustion industry, which is something like if you bought a truck now,
Yeah.
it's 20 years until, and say you bought the last truck that's petrol, it's now 20 years until every car would be electric because of how long it's going to take. Because either the world ruling body just says, right, everyone, as from tomorrow, we're swapping your cars.
Yeah.
So I know that my Dodge is the last year of the petrol engine, and all the Dodges moving forward now are going to be electric, which is very bizarre for an American muscle car.
Yeah, it's going from Hellcat to Pussycat.
Because, well, it's like, I'm so glad you said cat on the end of the second. Oh, where's he gone with that? You know what I mean? It's going from hell to, yeah. Anyway, well, you're not wrong. But the thing is that how are they going to make the noise?
Like, you saw that, right?
Well, but that's why you buy it. Like when you turn, I'm just going to be a bit egotistical now. When I switch my car on, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? Because the V8's going, but when you turn the electric, it's going,
No, you have nothing now. The Dodge has got speakers at the back. Yeah, it's got speakers at the back, which actually mimics what it would sound like. So yeah, it literally sounds like a cat in a washing machine, man.
I don't want to carry on talking.
Yeah,
Is that true?
yeah. It's got speakers. That's it. They launched it as the Dodge Charger Daytona, I think. So it was supposed to be the equivalent. Yeah, I know, right?
Sorry, I just no. Why? I don't. And you know what? This is the first time I didn't know this.
Yeah, I saw one on the road a couple of days back. It looks like a cross between the Challenger and the Charger. It looks like the old Charger. They're supposed to make it look like the 68, 69 one.
Okay.
But they've...
It's a good year.
I know, very good
very
year.
good
yeah.
year.
But that it looks like it has a similar body structure to it, but it's a full electric car. Completely.
It's just, but this is the problem is that why put the speakers? Like the reason there's a specific reason it makes that noise
because it has an 8-cylinder engine.
Because it has an 8-cylinder engine, and so if it doesn't have an 8-cylinder engine, that's bizarre. It's very bizarre. Where it's like we have switched to electric, but it still has to make the noise.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, I would love to do that. I would love to have one of those and then rev next to a cop. But like your car's loud. Speakers, bro.
Yeah.
It's not modified.
Yeah.
It's like my sound system is
think of the climate. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Think of the climate. You know what I mean? Like, all right, I'll buy a petrol one.
Yeah.
If you I can't believe they put speakers on them.
The thing is, they came up with I think it was in the UK or in the US. I'm not too sure. There was this company called Mr. Boombox.
Right.
And they came up with these waterproof speakers that sit under your car, right where your exhaust is. And it connects to a small unit in your on your gauge cluster, like next to your gauge cluster. And you can select what car you want your car to sound like. So we had people in the US with Vauxhall Corsas with a Ferrari 458. I'm like, so that's what started it. So you could be standing at a signal next to a Ferrari and be like, me too, bro. We are the same. It's like that meme.
Do you know it takes a hell of a lot to leave me speechless, and I'm just like, where the hell is the world going? Do you know? I hope your kids have to deal with it. Do you know what I mean? And that you don't.
Yeah, no, I don't. I wouldn't want to. Like, I'll probably get one for dad and then share it with him or with mom to use for commuting. But for actual driving, you need it. Because I remember I posted up a meme a couple of years back saying a manual gearbox. What separates the drivers from the commuters? Mm-hmm. And I got so much shit for it. What do you mean, bro? I drive an automatic. I'm a real driver. I was like, no, I never said that. I just said Like real driving is still a manual because you're so in sync with your car. Like
Well, you're
everything.
listening to it.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is that driving manual is you're listening to the car. Like when you learn to drive manual, there's no stereo on. Your instructor's not saying anything. He's saying, listen. And it's going, and you've got to get that sweet spot where you're like, And the best thing about learning to drive manual is how much you're not looking at the road.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it is in the UAE, but in the UK, the instructor's got a set of pedals.
It's same here.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And they're there ready because they know that you're looking down and you're looking at the clutch and you're going like that. You're like, you are actually on the road. You know what I mean?
It makes you, the thing is you actually realize when you need to shift. You stop looking at the gauges completely when you start driving a manual.
Yes.
That's the beauty of it.
That's it. You start to feel it.
No, all respect to automatic cars, they are faster than us. They will eventually be faster than us. And now, I think there's only 2 or 3 brands that sell manual transmissions anymore. You can't go into a dealership and be like, I want that manual. They don't have it anymore. Honda is one of the few. Nissan is there. And I think even Toyota has stopped it now. So even the choices are less. So the Subi, the one that I had was one of the last of this generation. Now they stopped the model itself. And they were rumored to come back with an electric STE. I'm like, please, God, no. Absolutely not. Let the heritage die. With the petrol.
I'm going to take this section of the conversation to the next level. Right? Self-driving cars. You are allowed to swear at this point if you want to.
Yeah, I think I would only swear at that point. The thing is, it helps for people who fall asleep when they're driving, which happens a lot in Dubai. Either they're falling asleep or drunk, because I keep seeing that happen. I'm like, there's no way you're doing that in a sober mind.
There's a lot of, there's an element of drunk, for sure.
Yeah, I'm like, there's no way you change first lane to third lane to first lane soberly or in your senses. Or is there something wrong with you? Yeah, more than on alcohol level. You're just fucked up in the head. But the thing is, for autonomous... Because the thing is, I ride a bike, right? When I was driving a car, I used to notice this. I was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
When you start riding a bike in Dubai, you start realizing, dude, there's
So I was going to get to this, you got a bike. So,
yeah.
And so I don't ride a bike, but how's that as a difference then? Especially on the roads in this country.
You notice how screwed up the drivers in Dubai are, honestly. Because you realize how much of a threat they are. In a car, you're completely in that tube. Nothing can happen. Even if you roll over, you'll survive. On a bike, you're actually looking at the wheels at the car at all times. Because at some point in time, the guy decides to not look into the blind spot and send you into a barricade. Bye-bye. It's lights out. So you start noticing them. And then you realize how screwed up they are when it comes to overtaking, when it comes to not indicating, when it comes to not checking blinds. Blind spot checking doesn't exist in Dubai. It's, even though we were taught, no one checks it. They're like, yeah.
No, because people, even though the blind spot is a real thing, people like to drive and sit in your blind spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
And of course, bikers have, after all the delivery riders and everything else, bikers don't exactly have a great reputation either. Because,
I think there's a difference between, and I'm not going to go bash the delivery drivers because they're working and the bikes.
They're on the clock.
They're on the clock, and the bikes are not great, but they are. What's the right word? They are quite dangerous. They're very. One of the things they do that really annoys me is when they sit behind an SUV, because the SUV will take the wind out of their face, and it's like, if that thing stops.
Yeah, you're right inside that guy.
Yeah,
join him for Karak.
But so what bike do you have?
I have a BMW, an S1000 RR.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a super sport. One of the best in its category. There are better ones out there, but that's the one that kind of just felt right.
And how do you ride? You're taking on the track or roads?
No, it's mostly. I've never tracked it. I don't think I would. I don't think I have it in. I track my car on and off a lot, but I don't think I have it in me to track the bike. Of course, physically is one. That's the biggest problem. But even if it was not that. Because no one wants to see that happen. So I'm just like, because aerodynamically I'm flawed. If I'm going on a bike on the track.
Physically, I'm like...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So even if suppose I come, which is my goal for 2025, and may God make that happen, and I get into the physique that I was before and stuff, I don't see myself, because I take corners and stuff, but I don't think, you need to take a lot of the fear out completely if you want to track a bike. Because you're this close to the ground, you can see it.
Yeah, they're pulling it round.
Yeah,
So they're not with it, they're off
They're
of
off,
it.
yeah.
You know.
And that requires you to switch off fear. Like, okay, if I fly off this thing into the wall, we will see. And I don't think I've reached that point of it.
But I think that I'd have more fear on the roads. Like, what's it like being? And I'm sure I'm asking a stupid question because I think people are going to watch this and go, "Oh, the motorbike." Yeah, I know, but I don't ride. So, what is it like being on Shakeside Road on the bike? You know, with all these wonderful drivers we have here.
Yeah,
some don't know. You know, how to use their indicators. You know, like I'm just going over here. Oh, you know.
Yeah.
But what's it like being on a bike with all of this madness going on?
In all honesty, if anyone's driven a car around Dubai or all around the UAE, they need to drive a bike once and they will become good drivers automatically because you'll actually realize what a risk you're at. And because the thing is, I'm being honest, I used to check the blind spot and stuff, but now I'm so much more attentive about the area around me when I'm driving the car because I'm like, shit, there could be a bike behind me. I gotta look. So I became more careful because I started riding a bike. But you have to be really attentive, and it's 100% defensive driving when it comes to a bike. Even car driving, for that matter. Dubai is defensive 100%. Like, I drove in the US, man. That was one of the best experiences I had back in 2016, 17. Because for the first time, I noticed people following the lines, or either that was a good day maybe for them, I don't know. But
Whereabouts in the US were you?
In California, in San Francisco.
Okay.
And I was on the highway, and the thing is, they had rules that they can't put up portable speed cameras. They'll have cops standing, and they'll probably chase you down. So I asked my uncle, I was like, "What's the deal like? So you have portable?" He's like, "No, they don't have cameras." There's no cameras. It's like, wow, this is weird.
Well, speed cameras I've never understood because they're introduced in the UK. And they're saying, we're putting this up to catch everyone speeding. And then they put a sign up saying speed camera in 100 meters.
Yeah, I like that. That should be there. Please enforce that here.
Why?
So that you know when to stop or slow down.
But that's what I'm saying. No, but I love the way that people react to it, which is where they're like, this has been put in because people are speeding. So instead of slow down, they're like, you need to put a sign that tells us it's going to be there because I'm not happy I got caught. That's such a British thing.
But the thing is, in the UK, the thing that you guys have, you have the average speed cameras, and those are the problem.
We have the what?
The average speed cameras, the one that actually tracks your speed between 2 points. But I don't know if that. I think it's in central London, because my brother.
There's no way you can speed in central London. The traffic is an absolute disaster.
I think because the thing is on the outskirts, my brother had told me it's like the average speed cameras work in a certain way that they'll calculate your speed when you enter and when you exit that entire stretch.
Yeah.
That stuff is scary.
Yeah.
Unless you cross it at like 20 miles an hour and then you park on the side, read a paper, and then cross at 200 after.
Well, Britain has a road... So Dubai's road system is purpose-built. So they built the roads as they built the cities, which is similar to the States. Yeah. Which is why the States is in grids, where the UK is so old as a country, where they had to build the roads around, especially in London, they build the roads around the buildings. To a certain degree, I probably said something, I probably sound really stupid saying that, but it's like when you drive up and down the UK, it's 3 lanes, not 7.
Yeah.
You know, Dubai, 7 lanes in each direction. It's like, what the... How many lanes do you want? And it's very short distances. The distance between downtown and Jebel Ali it's not a lot, but you have 7 lanes.
Yeah, and which are blocked.
Which are blocked.
Which are always blocked. 7 lanes aren't doing anything for us. So yeah.
So what's coming up for NightRoad then? Like, because I saw you at Grand Picnic as well. Grand Picnic, just very quick, is an amazing car show. How many cars were at Grand Picnic?
I think if I'm not wrong, it was around 2,000.
Yeah,
2,000 plus.
Amazing.
No, Flat 12 is a class apart, man.
Yeah.
They did, and they do it every year, and I think it's one of the best car events in the UAE period. Like, I don't think anything comes up to it.
It was very much like a festival.
Yes,
That's what I liked about it the most, was that it was very festival vibes where people are there all day, they're having picnics, they're sitting there, their cars are around them. I mean, some of the cars as well. I mean,
Beautiful.
You know, the GT 500. I was just like, mate. Yeah. That was parked near your car.
Yeah, the Gone in 60 Seconds style one.
Yeah.
Eleanor. Yeah, even that's one of the
Eleanor,
legendary cars.
Eleanor, yeah.
So Gone in 60 Seconds is one of those movies, right? It's kind of like made everyone become a petrol head. But
yeah. I haven't seen that for years.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go watch that.
I saw the original and the Nicolas Cage one. Of course, the original one was original, but for NightRoad, mostly Primary goal was having meets, drives, small events at coffee places and stuff. Because we partnered up with Cars Cafe, the one in Autodrome, a couple of years back. It's been a while now. So we were supposed to do one in the last 2 years, but we were so focused on drives, not meets. So I want to actually bring that back. It was actually called Cars and Caffeine.
Okay, good. Yeah, great mix.
Yeah. So it was. So I'm planning on bringing that back hopefully this year. So we'll try to team up with a few coffee places, if not a few, at least one or two, and do it regularly. Because that is a lot more social. Because if you're fond of hanging out with the car guys, but you don't want to do a drive to Hatta or to Jess, but you want to hang out with them, you need that kind of an event at least once in a while. And for the drivers, we have the one way, because it's not as social. It's mostly about driving together. So, and once we get to the meetup point, we eat, we leave. So I think this year I'll try to do a lot more. Last year we couldn't do as much. But this year, hopefully, we'll do more drives, more meets, more social gatherings, more activities, actually. So, because we like to keep it activity-based when it's a closed group. Like, we'll go bowling together, we'll go billiards together, go barbecuing, desert safari, stuff like that. So, hopefully, a lot more. And let's see where it goes from there.
Fantastic.
You should come.
I'm going to come.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm an old man. Like, I sort of have to be in bed very
We'll do a
early these
sunset
days,
one.
you know. So I'm one of the guys that if you pull up outside my house and backfire, I'm going to be out the window. We're in.
Yeah.
We're in. Sleep. It's 8 o'clock in the evening. No, I'm joking. I can stay up later than that. Yeah, 9. But so
We'll do one at 6.
Huh?
We'll do one at 6.
We'll do
a drive to your
do
house.
an evening drive for me. You know what I mean?
No, we'll set up the end point near your place. So it's like,
All right, I'll meet you at the end of it. But so, do you know what? Brilliant conversation. I knew it would be because I met you recently, but you're incredibly funny and passionate about what you do, and that's all come out in this, which is awesome. But I did want to ask, because where you have the car clubs and you have the meetups and you have so I had Alan Boiter on from Vendetta Racing, and I asked him one question. I said to him, how come you called it Vendetta Racing? And he said, I can't really tell you that. I said, but was it a proper vendetta? He went, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. And it's fine because it's on the episode, which everyone has to watch. But the thing is I always ask about, like, beef. Do you know what I mean? And is there actual beef? Now, on February the 15th, what happened after the race?
Oh, that.
Because it kicked off big time. I don't name names. But
I don't think I even know the name.
But how did that...
I think they probably all of them have the same name. But anyways.
I nearly did, but no, but no. But so because we're people are waving at us to say wrap up. But how did that all fall apart? Because in UK terms, people understand it. It did kick off a bit. Like there was a couple of sort of brawls.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It was. No, I think it was a race between two, and I think it was more than just individuals. It was like groups. It's like if you come with your friends, I come with my friends, and if our friend group is big, if you and me both decide to race, everyone's going to come to watch it, right? And if in case by any chance the race doesn't go fairly, or if you jump or anything, both our friends will take it. So the thing is, if you and me start fighting, our friends look at each other and be like, hey, he's beating the shit out of him. I'll beat the shit out of you. So we had like one posse there, one here, one there, and just beating the shit out of each other over nothing. It was honestly nothing. And I was in the middle of it. I'm like, I'm getting my car out of this.
Yeah.
Because the next thing I want is someone flung onto my windshield. No, I just got it back.
Mystique.
Yeah.
She's not going to like that.
Yeah, exactly. She won't. That'll be the shapeshift I don't want.
Into broken.
Exactly. So it was like it was. But I'm glad no one got hurt. I'm glad that it was brought under control afterwards. But the thing is, the car community needs to know. The thing is, when things like this happen, that's when drag nights stop.
Yeah,
they'll just be like,
they'll
you know what, no
cancel
more.
it.
Yeah,
you're right.
And people like there are guys who paid and they didn't even get to do one. Luckily I got like 3, 4. Some guys didn't even do one because they had to close it off. So you take it too personally. It's the same thing we were discussing in the beginning, right? When people take that my car's faster than yours so personally, they have every second's just spent trying to make the other one look like he's better than you.
It would have made much more sense if they just all beat up the guy that had the Tesla.
Yeah, I know, right? I would have called you and I'm like, you know what? Let's all go together. Let's go one
let's
group.
go get the Tesla guy. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, Tesla
We have
guy.
a common enemy. Why are we fighting each other?
Yeah, let's go the battery car.
I'm like, it's not you versus me, it's us versus them. Let's go.
And then everyone goes, oh no, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Well, look, Vish, I've had a fantastic time doing the episode.
Likewise.
Great talking, Shu. Is there one last comment you'd like to leave everybody with so they can remember you?
And I don't think I have anything specifically. Just don't buy an electric car. Always learn how to drive a manual if you're a man, or at least identify as one. And make sure if you're an actual petrol head, you respect all bills unless they're chamak as fuck. So.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Vish, thank you very much. And I look forward to airing this episode and then having to leave Dubai immediately.
Yeah. Let me know one day before, yeah? So I'll deactivate
Meet
and go.
me at the airport.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. I mean, I'll see you in the lounge.
I'll see you on a drive.
For sure. We'd be happy to have you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.